I'll talk first. That's me. You ready? Welcome to Mobile Concerns, the podcast where two lads from London feel sick with jealousy because I've got a massive house and it costs less than they spend on little pistachio lattes. Yum, yum, yum. You right? You right, lads?
You can't even get pistachio lattes.
That's not a thing either.
What is it then?
Pistachio latte.
Right. I love that this.
The guy in the garage is lying to you.
I love that this is the searing comeback. Absolutely sick with
Sounds
jealousy.
disgusting, a pistachio
sick with
latte.
jealousy.
Mm.
Not like matcha latte. Is that what you meant?
Oh, God.
Yeah, you can get that.
We don't have good coffee culture, but we have big houses. I know which one I'd rather have. Let's do the episode. Ba-da-bow.
Do I need headphones?
No, because you put echo cancellation on.
I just said I wasn't using headphones on it. Does that just, it just turns it on automatically then, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, very clever.
So that's what happens when you click headphones or not. It's whether you do or don't have that on. Oh, how do we start? Should we just talk about world politics for a minute?
No.
Oh, yeah, because we've done the intros and outros, have we?
They'll be done separately, yeah.
Well, you start talking about Palestine then.
No,
come on now. It needs to be. We're 10 episodes in. We need to get this figured out because this is mad.
Right, should we start now then?
Let's start now. All I'm saying is I think everybody in the world should be mates. That's it.
Are you going to do your no walls theory again?
Oh yeah. No, there should be no walls. Walls should be illegal.
Instead of toilet doors, they should
if
have
you agree
just
with if you agree that everyone should be mates and no walls should be legal, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And
that's very easy to disagree with, Chris.
We will take this down brick by brick. Come on.
How many people in the world don't want walls?
Exactly.
Not very few. So.
You're in the pocket of big glaziers.
Yeah. I don't want to be. I've got a 2-1 in politics.
Have you?
Yeah.
How have you got a degree in politics? You've never talked politics in your life.
Yeah, but look at my life. I live like basically maneuvering the comedy ecosystem is like basically navigating with a sort of feudal baron, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's a very medieval.
But that's not what they teach you at university, is it?
Well, I think I did it. I did it. I wasn't bad at it, and I really enjoyed it. And I studied like nuclear politics, loads of stuff like that. And like,
what's nuclear politics? Is that like
the specific geopolitical situation that emerges when nation states get nuclear weapons?
Oh, like game theory.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. That sort of thing. Like the race to get in. The race to get in the arms, what happens when these weapons exist? Saying this, I watched Oppenheimer last week, and I watched the first half with Nicola, my wife, and she was like, what is going on? Who are these men just talking and talking and talking? This is boring. So she left. So I watched it, and I was like, this is a great film. And then, to be totally honest with you, we basically bought some edibles 6 months ago, and she was away for the week. So I was like, let's just get these finished off. And I could not tell you what happened in the second half. And it was just like, I thought it was the maddest, I thought it was like a film that had real madness in it. Do you know what I mean? Like the way it was shot and written and put together. There's like a real vibe of insanity running underneath it.
I liked the bit in it where the bomb went off.
Yeah, I thought that bit was good.
Yeah. Also, I've talked about this on another podcast, but when you watch it at the IMAX, you're not expecting like 100-foot view of Florence Pugh's tits. And it's just a shock, you know. No, especially in a film about the nuclear bomb. But yeah,
I think this is what my wife was like. There's hardly any women in it. And one of them's just had their tits out for 60% of the time that they're on screen. Yeah. And I'm like, this was the 50s or 40s. That shows how much close attention I was paying. This was the recent past. This is what women did.
Yeah, you know it wasn't the 50s though, don't you?
A big time, because I studied politics to an international level, to a top league level.
International level.
To an international level.
You're a top international politics student.
I feel like the more I'm talking about this, the less I sound.
You should never have mentioned it.
No. I got a 2-1 in politics and sociology.
James, have you got a degree?
I've got a drama degree, of course.
But you actually seem like the one that's most practical.
Yeah.
No, it turns out I'm not.
I would have thought you'd have a geography degree.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Sunil got a degree
I dropped geography at the first possible chance.
Okay.
What have you got a degree in? The University of Life?
Hedge funds. NFTs.
Speaking of which, we have not come out of the top 200 on Apple Podcasts for the Cayman Islands.
Wowee.
Is that where your Apple Music accounts are located?
Is that where I'm laundering my money? No, I did a business degree, didn't I?
Did you?
As you can tell.
I don't know what
we do.
A business degree is.
When me and Sunil on the blower, these are the most light-hearted chats that we have. When it's just me and him and we're not being observed, we talk about business theory and strategy quite hard. And I love it.
I love it. That kind of stuff as well.
Talk about what?
We talk about Machiavelli as well.
Yeah, talk about Machiavelli.
Political intrigue and how to basically, I think it's essentially how to come out on top of the pile, right?
I think that's what we talk about. Simultaneously, I'm going to admit that during these working hours when we do schedule these chats, we should be doing work.
Business degree, which actually, I can't remember any of it. I think it's an absolute waste of time. I would say, and I don't mean to speak for all or both of you, but I think all our degrees are a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
Except James's.
We did a mime segment.
Yeah.
So, I get a lot out of that.
Oh, right, okay.
It means that when you could pretend that your internet's gone and really sell it when you want to bounce out of this call. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Beef.
No, I think we went to uni in the golden age. Not the golden age was when it was free, but ours was comparatively not a huge money sink compared to I got some great friends, but I don't believe that they are worth the 80 to 100 grand or whatever kids have to pay now at uni. I think I'd tell my son I'd give him £1,000. I'd be like, I think you could get 2 real good mates with this. I don't know what you're going to do with it, but.
Well, it is hard to make friends if you're not put together in a sort of environment, isn't it? I mean, as you've demonstrated, Chris. If you're not in an intense environment with other people, you probably won't make friends.
Right. Oh, I have made friends actually. So
no, I mean in the village, you're not you're suddenly in a new environment, but it's not like you've all got to get smashed every Wednesday night, is it?
It's basically Freshers' Week every week in your village, isn't it?
Yeah.
I tell you what, I will tell you, and it brings us on to one of the talking points. I do have friends, actually. There's a couple that are...
It's a couple of builders.
There's a couple of builders.
Builder again, all right.
I pay them an amount of money a day.
Did you make a new friend at the tip, Chris?
Yeah. He told me, he said, don't put that in there. That's timber. Like that.
He said, toilet seats, technically, you have to pay for them. You have to pay for toilet seats in our tip, by the way.
You have to pay to throw them away?
To throw them away because it counts as DIY or some bullshit, or not up from DIY.
Well, it's just a bit of wood or plastic, you mean?
Mm.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, furious.
You getting rid of your toilet seats, though, are you?
Well, yeah. Getting a soft close installed.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Also, we'll get back to. I'm going to be getting a Japanese wash your bum one.
I was about to ask you. You have to get one, surely.
I've got access to one. It's just the installation.
What do you mean?
Because you need a combination plumber electrician.
Yeah, it's like fitting a shower.
Oh yeah, of course. For your ass.
But for your ass, yeah.
We can't be asked with that level. We can't be asked. But trying to get one of them. A plumber or an electrician is basically, it's like trying to summon a genie into it. So it's like this is why we are not, the infrastructure of the UK does not support a Japanese computer grade bidet.
If you had 3 wishes to ask an electrician, what would they be, Chris?
None of them could be, are you my friend?
Yeah. Will you come to my comedy gig? No. Well, what could I ask an electrician? Could you just rewire my house like that?
Yeah.
I don't really think I need 2 more wishes. Can you make sure those Ethernet? Can you make sure those Ethernet cables are real drum tight?
Yeah. And have a go on his van, maybe. Have a drive around in his van.
Let me drive.
Ask him if you can drive his van.
Have all spools of wire sloshing around it back while we do wheelies.
Yeah. That's 2 wishes.
I like that they're not wishes. These are things that could, like, do you know what I mean? The magic element. Do that, and then go Mackie's drive-through. 3 wishes.
That's 3 wishes all done.
Fully rewired house. Donuts in a van, and finishing off with Mackie's drive-through. Best day of my life with my best friend Tony the electrician.
And then your wife's going to come and pick you up from that McDonald's and take you home.
And just as we're leaving, he goes, wait. White window down. There's your invoice for today, sir. I've got another friend just on this, and then we'll talk about the stuff. Another friend has emerged called Robert the plumber. Because our bath sprung a leak, and I tried taking. I'm just like, I'm committed to doing more masculine DIY related activities. So my dad showed me how to take a radiator off at his house, where all his radiators and stuff are almost brand new and in really good maintained nick. And I came here to the dog bordello and tried to take a radiator off myself, and I absolutely fucked one side of it, so it's leaking. So I've had to bring in a plumber, and my confidence has gone. My dad knows he can see it, but I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to take another one off. So Robert the plumber came round. He's coming back Thursday, and I know a true friend would come back Thursday. You know,
does he know that you fucked it up?
He can tell.
Yeah, because I don't lie about stuff like this anymore. I don't hide, because my life's been too much like an episode of Keenan and Kel, you know, where you try and tell a lie to hide a secret, and then it ends up bigger. So I'm just like, I messed it up because I'm an idiot. Can you fix it for me? That's what I want. And
can you be my friend?
And can you be my friend?
And these are the opening hours for Mackie's drive-through.
But I have. In other friend-related news, I have now acquired via my wife 2, 3, 4 new friends in the village. I've mentioned them briefly, but basically they're the young ones. We're the young ones of the village, all minimum 40 years old, but with a tearaway teens of the village, because the general age is very high in the 80s, so we average it out. But the other night, I was out at a barbecue type thing, drinking in the garden, drinking beer in the garden. And I thought I'd stop drinking alcohol because I was like, I don't need this, you know what I mean? Turns out no one had asked me to have a pint in basically 2 years. Do you know what I mean? So my abstinence from alcohol was directly connected to having no friends. So when someone said, do you want a beer? I couldn't have said yes any quicker.
Yeah.
And I had a great time, so much so that I missed the northern lights that were visible over my village, and I think most of the UK, like a rare sort of lunar event.
Yeah, I knew they were happening, but I didn't see them. I was out in the open, and I was in Dorset when they were on. But
you should have seen them then.
Yeah, no idea. No, I was outdoors in a cocktail bar.
See, this is it. I was just having too much of a good time. I was outside somebody's house.
Yeah, what time was it supposed to be on?
This was I was out till
between 11 and 1.
Yeah. I was out at 11:30 on a Friday night.
I was back home watching YouTube videos.
Yeah. But I just didn't look up.
Yeah.
And that's what annoys me. It was there for the taking, and all I needed to do was look up. I live in a dark skies area. Do you know what I
mean? Like pigs, isn't it?
Like pigs. How's it like pigs?
Because they can't look up, can they?
Yeah.
Pigs can look up.
Can they?
Yes, we've discussed it. We've discussed this on
We've already discussed this.
Have you two discussed this on another podcast?
We have, yeah. It was whether pigs can look up or not.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like how that feels. Don't talk.
I'm sorry.
I don't think we were talking about you when we were talking about Can Pigs Hook Up, but I can't say that we weren't.
The thing is, I'm not going to give up on that. I'm not going to believe that they can, because it's too late for me to change. That's a fact for life for me, and I'm not going to change it.
I think that's a good thing to lead with at a party, because it feels like no one's gonna sense check that, are they?
No.
Like,
What do you talk about when you're talking to new people and where you are? Because like you're not like from there. You're what you are.
I know what I am. I'm sort of largely settled to what I am, and it's fine. Yeah. My son's been going to cricket in the area, which I don't know who it is, and it's so nice. The people that run it are so friendly, but it basically attracts like the kids, and the parents are like the most middle class parents that I've ever met. Like a guy in a polo neck with boating shoes on and stuff like that. Like, we're very, very inland. I don't know where he's come from, but they're very middle class, and suddenly I feel like a big thumb. Do you know what I mean? And no one's really talking to me because I'm not an account manager at KPMG.
When do you start wearing white polo necks?
I think I might have to do, but I'll give the game away because they're all like proper office grade PAYE boys, whereas I'm a bit of a, they're like, what do you do? And I'm self-employed, so I'm probably like you. My first response is always, what do you need? I can do it. I'll figure it out. You know what I mean?
Well, they won't get you in for any plumbing, will they?
No.
Where are you playing cricket? Because like, I would have thought the area that you live in, you'd get nobody that really worked in an office.
It's near one of the slightly bigger villages, which is
near a big town.
Well, then it's near an old monastery type building, a priory that's like a national trust type thing, and it's in a field next to there. There's a lot of people up here in the hedgerows and stuff, and I went to a party at Christmas last year. No, I didn't mean that. There's not actual people in the hedgerows. It's not like a halfling situation. It's not. They're not hobbits. There's no hobbits in the countryside, as I've seen, but they're quick and.
Have you misheard someone talk about hedge funds?
No, just what I'm saying is, like, in the rabbit warren, what is like the little villages, there's lots of little places for middle class people to hide. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. As they should, right. As they should. But Chris,
you are middle class. Let's not forget.
Yeah, but when I'm with these lot, so I feel out of place everywhere. When I'm with like the people in the village, I feel like like a lad who's got a hanky or something. Do you know what I mean? Like a real hoity-toity type. But then when I go to these like proper middle class people, last Christmas I ended up getting invited to like Nicola wasn't there, she was away. It was like one of the kids in George's classes' parents were having a Christmas party. And it was basically like all the middle class people. And there was a big chunk of them that second home where we live. They live in London, but they are half residents of the village or thereabouts. And I was like, where do these people come from? And there was a lady who was lovely, but so posh, and she has like a horse training shop. Do you know what I mean? She has like a shop where people come to train horses. And my mother-in-law took me.
And this is a shop, is it?
Is it a shop?
Is it a shop?
You pay money and then they look after your horse, or show you how you ride a horse or something.
Bringing the horse to the shop?
It's a tale as old as time.
Which high street is this?
It's I think they shut down.
Is it on an industrial, an out of town industrial estate? Is it a bit? It's got to be a big shop for the horses.
With Curry's PC World, just. But like my mother-in-law was showing me around this party, and basically in this environment, she's like, bigging me up a lot. Do you know what I mean? This is my not quite this, but this is my son-in-law. He's been on Radio 4. Do you know, like that? And I'm like, oh, God. And I was talking to this very posh girl. And I said, oh, are you all right? I'm Chris. And the posh girl was like, Bruce? And I was like, no, it's Chris. And then my mother-in-law was like, Chris? You told her Bruce. And I went, what? I said, excuse me, Jenny. I didn't get my own name wrong. I I think there might have been it, but what happened is, which I was too polite to say, I was so incredibly, I basically kezzed to these people. Do you know what I mean?
The bird.
Yeah. The kestrel, like
they're worried you're going to peck their eyes.
Completely indecipherable, but they know a natural predator. So
I've seen you hovering around the lay-by.
I think we should veer away from class because it's a poisoned chalice, and James has already told me off for consistently going in on lads who wear tracksuits. So I think it's like a murky minefield. We've done the war in the world, we've done all the wars in the world, and class. I think we need to get onto safer ground quickly. Sunil, what's been going on?
I had a lovely London day out the other day.
Go on then.
Went to the CEX on Walworth Road and used up some of the voucher that I had. Looked up what stuff they had online first, ended up with NBA 2K23, Hitman 3.
Yeah.
And this is the one. Equalizer 1, 2, and 3 on Blu Ray.
Right.
What do you think of that?
Is that the Denzel Washingtons?
That's correct, yeah.
It's the third one where he goes to Italy.
That's right, it's brilliant.
I've not seen it.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Just the name of the shop. Did you see the advert for it during lockdown?
No, did they do an advert?
Yeah, they did an advert, and we like the time that Lidl did an advert, and we all learned that it's actually pronounced Lidl.
Well, it's pronounced sex, isn't it?
It is pronounced sex.
Yeah.
They are sex shops.
Yeah, I went to the sex shop.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it was. I think it was supposed to be like funny when it opened.
I love seeing. Yeah, but apparently their logo was designed by Charlie Brooker. I heard, because he used to work for him a million years ago.
Right.
But I love CEX. I could talk about CEX all day. I think it basically keeps there's an element of society that CEX keeps running, doesn't it? It's like a very fun pawn shop, isn't it?
There are some bleak stories walking into that shop.
Yeah, it had some great deals coming out.
I was there just paying for my stuff, and this old man sort of waddled in with one of those shopper trolleys, and then he said, I'd like to sell some DVDs. And I was like, okay. Every single inch of that shopping trolley was full of DVDs, and he was just pile after pile, just fistful of DVDs, all this miscongeniality, all sorts of stuff just popping out. And the guy was just, he wasn't angry because they're not allowed to get angry, but he was like, right, I'm going to be here for about an hour and a half having to sort through these. But I stuck around hovering over him to see if there was anything I wanted for a bit. But
Miscongeniality too, I'm fabulous.
Miscongeniality. Completely unmarked.
Yeah. It's almost as if no one opened it to watch it in the first place.
But there's a few. So I'm now, the next CEX on the list I'm going to go to is Deptford. That one seems to have a lot of good films, actually.
Sorry, Sunil, did you see how much he got for his shopping cart?
No, because, it would have been, I think less than £1. Because the trade-in value of a DVD is roughly 1 penny.
So he did that, got his quid, put it straight back into
one DVD.
Into one DVD, took it out, started the cycle again.
That was my big day out. Apart from that, I've just been working on myself, paying for various medical things. Oh, well, don't look at me like that.
Are you okay?
Physio for my knee.
Oh, right.
I didn't realize how, because I was like, I should get some stuff sorted out because I'm not doing much at the moment. So I just you can just book it online and turn up. I had no idea. And my knee hurt a bit, so I thought, I'll just go to the physio. She was just, as soon as she said it was fine, it stopped hurting.
So it's up here.
It's upstairs.
It's upstairs. That's the thing.
She rubbed it better. Said you can call me anytime. And that should be better now.
So you're and you're not getting the upstairs sorted out, are you?
Upstairs, you should never touch. You should let it drive you forward.
It's too that. If we fix what's in your head, your legendary industry bar setting drive is going to just disappear to nothing, and you'll just be happy just to sit at home and watch Miss Congeniality too.
I'm fabulous.
Yeah, and then I went to the dentist.
Oh, what state are your teeth in?
Honestly, not bad.
Yeah, I'm medium. I wish you could get a third set, I think, in general.
You're on your second already? You are, aren't you?
I had a friend that had baby teeth until he was quite old. Do you know, like a late teenager with baby teeth? It's weird, isn't it?
You?
Oh.
No, it wasn't me. I've got adult teeth. Great adult teeth.
Really grown up teeth.
Yeah, I've got.
Have you not had any teeth out?
I've had some wisdom teeth out, but
Yeah.
I think I got my first filling in recent history, and it sort of really garbled my head. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Why?
They drill too far.
You picking up signals? What's happening?
Opened up the cavity, and it was just, I could hear Satan say, "Burn the dentist down." No, I've got a dentist who's 26 years old or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Wow. Wowee. Mine also does Botox in the other room.
Did it? So it's a one-stop shop for you, really?
It's a brand new clinic. Went in, and as I was leaning back, I looked up, and he's fixed a TV up to the ceiling, so you can watch. You can't watch what you want. It's just a scene of some boats.
God, Jesus! What are the small boats?
Little boats in a little fishing village.
So you're
watching. That's what you have to watch.
So you're having your teeth drilled right down to nerve while you're watching Rishi Sunak sending the small boats back or something like that. Jesus Christ, that sounds like something out of Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was scenes of Dunkirk footage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's got a Where's Wally?
What, to look at up on the ceiling? Well, once you've done it once, though.
I don't think it is actually a Where's Wally. I think it's just a picture of a lot of cartoon dinosaurs, and they say it's a Where's Wally.
On the ceiling?
That's not for you, James, is it? That's for the children.
I go to the children's dentist. I'm Chris's friend who had baby teeth until...
Still in an NHS loophole. Still gets it for free. Maybe they think he's got that... Do you know that disease that Robin Williams had on in that film Jack? You know, when he was like a little kid, but he was in the body of a 45, 50-year-old man.
Yes.
Maybe your dentist thinks that you've got that.
Maybe. But with teeth.
But with teeth. Summary, 3 winning smiles for 3 top lads. Right, so shall we do...
Do you want to do corrections?
I'll do some... I've had a couple of corrections. From having the episodes out in the world. They are largely coming from my own village. A couple of big supporters. We've got, first off, correction from Andy the baker, who owns the local cafe in my village.
Is that House of Meg, by the way?
Which I've talked about before.
You talked about that on my other podcast.
Yeah, delicious. Summary, the essential place to stop off to if you are walking or near Hadrian's Wall. Oh, bloody hell. If you just want to drive to find a really tasty food place, you know, like lovely food, then hey, House of Meg. But the thing that they do that's really...
What do they specialise in?
They specialise in for my money, the world's most delicious tray bakes. The guy's basically, Andy's basically like Willy Wonka, but with like, we're talking about a millionaire shortbread slice that is like, it's shortbread and then a wedge of caramel that is bigger than your, like it's longer than your thumb. Do you know what I mean? The length, the height of the caramel is as long as a human thumb. And on top of that, you've got a couple of centimeters of chocolate. On top of that,
whoa,
you've got like a bit of bloody Mars bar or something, or a mini egg. Do you know what I mean? It's just thinking outside the box. It does a biscotti type thing, biscotti Rocky Road. Like he's just like, you know, like that guy from Saw, Jigsaw. He's like that, but for confectionery.
How do we buy these?
You come to visit your good friend.
Oh, fuck's sake.
In the middle of nowhere. And I'll bring you a platter.
Can you bring some down to London next time?
Yeah, I will do the next time.
Oh, yes. A couple of tray bakes.
Yeah, we could do a little tasting session. But
we've never been in a room together.
Who have? Me and you?
The three of us.
No, we've never. I saw James recently last week. He came to one of that preview that you didn't come to. That's all right, you're busy. But
Where was that?
In Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
No one told me that.
It was all right. It was good.
What
It was
day
good.
was that?
Tuesday, 30th of April.
I was just getting my hair cut in the day. I had nothing in the evening.
I didn't ask. I was too shy.
Yeah.
But James was
Too shy to ask your actual friends.
Yeah, I forgot how tall he is.
How tall is he?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm well tall. I never forget.
How tall is he?
He's very tall, so much so that when we were talking, I was like, okay, let's crunch podcast chat. But we were stood on the road and I had to make him stand on the road while I stood on the pavement just to take a couple of inches off of him. Do you know what I mean? I was intimidated.
Power move. I like it.
Yeah, just I was like, get down on the road and can you lift me up a bit? That feels right. But
Right, so sorry, I derailed the corrections. That was silly of me.
That was your
I just
fault.
wanted to hear you say tray bakes.
Yes, I love a tray bake. I love Andy who makes the tray bakes. Andy the baker says to me that in a previous episode, I was chatting. It's almost as if this podcast includes basically no research at all. But I was just willy-nilly saying that there are no nudists in my village. And apparently that is incorrect. I don't know much about this situation, but there are reports of a nudist living in the village operating up in the forest on the hill. And apparently they've been spotted running around having a good time. I don't think there's any malice there. I don't think anything shady's happened, but running amongst the trees. So I need to now, obviously, find and befriend this nudist and add him to my menagerie of strange men. And hey, if he's a plasterer, then, fair enough.
So he's just frolicking.
It's just,
that sounds like
I think he's just
very
frolicking in
definition.
the woods, but that's what the countryside's for, isn't it?
Has he got shoes on?
I don't know. That wasn't clear.
Because if he's got shoes on, he's frolicking. If he hasn't, he's gone mad.
Andy, I think I need more information. He listens to this podcast on his way to the gym like every Thursday, which I think is not the ideal environment to consume this podcast. But
Getting amped up with this.
we need to know more about this nudist.
Yeah.
And we need access to
We need
tray
access
bakes.
Yes.
to
Below,
Andy,
we
if
can-
you are a serious fan, you can do 3 things for us. 1, give us more information on the nudist. 2, send Rural Concerns a complimentary box of like a sort of a menagerie of your tray bakes. Like not like 2 of one thing, but we want like 1 of each thing, like a brownie with white chocolate lumps in. We want a blondie. We want like a bit of carrot cake, whatever you've got, but we want 1 of each to sample it. And we will make a video of us eating it all, and we will put it on the internet for 12 people to like. Do you know what I mean? You can't get better marketing than this.
And I think we should. Andy, I suppose I should address it to Andy. Andy, I don't know if you've heard of an outfit called the Flapjackery. He's not going to reply, is he, immediately?
I think we need at least 2 weeks.
There is an outfit called the Flapjackery,
Right.
which posts its flapjacks around the world. Maybe it's something you could think about.
Is that a weed thing?
No, it's just flapjacks.
Oh, all
You can
right.
put your weed in if you want. But yeah. But maybe if you want someone to help with that, I've got a business degree. Chris knows about nuclear politics. And James,
I'll just be on vibes.
it'll be on vibes. We could run a business for him.
All of us together working in unison.
That's what it's all about. The boys just making money, hand over fist, with flapjacks. Not flapjacks, tray bakes.
Come on now.
And to the second correction.
So in summary, that's correction number 1. And I think Andy would, I think I would be very surprised if we didn't hear from Andy again. But also not that surprised if he blocks me on Facebook. Correction 2 comes from Dave the Decorator. I've mentioned before. Watching this man work, he's a Cockney as well, or something like that. Do you know, he's Southern, just ended up living here, and you're like, lovely guy.
What's his voice sound like?
So like, you're like Chris, like that. How you doing? Listening to the podcast,
right,
like that. He's a good lad. What he could do. I'm going to get him to paint my hallway when we've got no money, just because otherwise it'll take me literally 20 years. Do you know what I mean? But he listens to his podcast a lot, which is really nice. But apparently in another episode when we were talking about me finding a druid male support group, we talked about, like, you know, maybe we'd be sacrificing virgins. And Dave says, not sure you'll find any virgins in this neck of the woods. You'll have to bus them in, which is... I think, like, thank you for the continued support, Dave, but I'm not really sure that's the right tone we're going for this podcast.
Yeah.
Come on now. Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys, but, you know. It
has to be a line.
What's the line?
I don't know.
No buses. Is that the end of the corrections?
I think so, pretty much.
Oh, right, great.
But that's the end of corrections so far.
Corrections so far, yeah. The thing is, we've done quite well on corrections because a lot of these episodes, nobody else had listened to them because they were all done internally. So what I'm worried is that now we seem to have opened like a Pandora's box of people pulling us up on the stuff that we're half-assing and not checking out at all. And I, for one, don't care for it.
Rural Concerns was produced by Egg Mountain for A Lovely Time Productions.
Our artwork, that was by Poppy Hillstead, yo. And our music, well, that was bashed out as quickly as possible by Sam O'Leary. And it really does mean the world that you're listening to this. But if you'd like to go one step further, you can now support Rural Concerns on Patreon. We have 2 tiers. They're both cheaper than the cost of a pint, and you'll get access to bonus content, including bonus episodes, as well as some pictures of Chris's dilapidated countryside mansion. And Sunil, couldn't I get you to promise that you will give people the postcode to the secret pub that you found hidden under a restaurant?
Yeah, why does everyone want to know that?
Because you
just because it's open late.
You branded it as a secret. It's open late. Right, okay. It's empty. Everyone. This podcast is driven on the back of secrets.
Only in the Patreon. Done.
Only in the Patreon. Done. Full postcode.
And if you'd like us to discuss your rural concerns, email us at christopher@alovelytime.co.uk or drop us a DM on Insta at Rural Concerns. That'll be just Chris, because I don't look at that. I don't have a login, do I?
You don't need a login. What are you going to do?
Look up boobies.
I'm going to do that line again just because I couldn't get through the full sentence. It's my fault for writing it so eruditely. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff. It might not all make it into this next episode. Do not read The Tavern of the Deviants. I want you to go in fresh into that one.